Bonjour, welcome, bienvenue à ce 8e épisode de Si tu me racontais, passionné d'antiquité. I'll do a quick introduction in French and then I'll get back to you. Donc cette semaine, on rejoint Michel en plein milieu d'une discussion avec John Melby, antiquaire de la région de Eastport au Maine, petit village situé à quelques kilomètres du Nouveau-Brunswick. On a tenté de vous conserver la discussion le plus intacte possible, bien qu'il y a quelques interruptions à cause des bruits ambiants ou encore des interruptions du magasin. On vous invite à aller voir la page Facebook du balado pour voir les photos des différents objets discutés durant le podcast. So this week, we join Michel in the middle of a conversation with John Melby, antique dealer from Eastport, Maine, a little town located few miles away from New Brunswick. We tried to keep the discussion as intact as possible, but we had to do some cut here and there due to background noise or interruption. We'll put all the pictures of the pieces discussed during the podcast on our Facebook page. So we hope you're going to enjoy it. Sur ce, bon podcast.
So I think, but like you say, the guy who built it one time, it's the way it should go back someday. That's the respect of the maker.
Mm-hmm. And in a sense, when you do that, you respect all makers.
Right, exactly.
Can you imagine it? With your eyes closed?
See, boy, it would be nice like hell. And see, some people, we see people who go on the road with car of 100,000 or 125,000. Many on the road.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not?
Yeah. If I had the money, I would not even think.
No, I for sure, because you have the talent to appreciate and to figure out how nice it will be, and we only need one people who want that.
There's one guy, I don't remember his name. He's near Toronto, I guess.
Uh-huh.
He's the president of something. Mm-hmm. I would know his name if I heard it. And he put on Facebook one day, it was a chest box, and he put the stripper on it, and he took the rake and and I go, whoa, so I typed in, I gave him help, and he did not know who I was, and all of a sudden he asked, and he goes, so he's the big shot that thinks he knows, huh? Yeah, I don't think I know. I know. And I know when it's bad and wrong.
Yes.
And you're on there teaching people that this is what they should do. He says, but I sold it. I said, yeah, well, you sold it the wrong love that you.
Wait. Oh, mon Dieu.
But, so a little run in. I wish I could remember his name.
But there's many people who don't know what you know.
Oh,
and they don't
even
have
mod is gone, has changed a little bit, up, but the wax is still wax on, wax off.
Yes.
Like the kung fu guy.
Yeah, like, wait. Oh, see, man.
Now, whose shop is that? We're up here.
It's 3A. It used to be Alain Chauvet.
For that, it was
Alain Turcotte and two more guys.
Okay.
They were three together. That's why they call it 3A.
The auctioneer, he had the chairs on the roof.
Oh, Pierre Constant. No. Germain Langlois.
Yeah,
but Germain Langlois never owned that place. He just rent.
And slips up.
And slips.
So he's probably dead, huh?
No, he's still alive. He's like 88. And in fact, I'm supposed to go and talk to him on my podcast. I did start a little podcast with a month ago. And I speak with antique dealer and I ask him, how come you like the antiques and how come you came in the antique yourself? How come you
start with me?
Yes.
Oh, the very simple explanation is.
What did you take your passion?
Well, it's coming. I'm gonna make my delivery here.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes. Come to my office and we'll have a talk for an hour.
Yeah. God does not tell you to come through his gates, but his gates are always open.
Okay.
And when you see it, you know it. So it's a combination of he finds you, you find him at the same time, and you're allowed to mix. So the same with the business. Not the business, the pieces. Not the business, the pieces. You know?
Okay.
So that's, and I say to people, it found me. You know, it was always in me to find it, but it had to be
the right thing, so
the right time. Just like people find God is in the right time. And you can, if you goof, you can leave the business, and if your passion is there, like for God, you can always come back.
Oh yes, for sure. So how many years you've been in the antique now? 40. Almost like me, eh? I mean, a little bit me. Well, maybe I start before you a little bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, having fun and I think when we met together around here it must be in 1980.
No, after that.
After that?
Yeah, it was 1980, maybe 85, 86.
Okay, possible.
Yes.
Oh.
And it wasn't the best piece. It was Victorian furniture, but it was kind of the spirit of the maker in an old piece that was part of the life of the people that came before us.
Why?
It's that story, not the piece itself.
No, but what they had in their life.
In their life,
made
yeah. Did I ever show you the books I made?
Yes, all the for sure. And I always look your Facebook.
Oh yeah.
I love what you see.
Yeah.
And see.
Well,
You make me dream. It's fun.
Some of my books, I even do soapstone.
Oh, you do
make the books, yeah.
Oh.
But without trying for about 10 or 12 years now, just maybe Facebook, maybe at a show. My books I sell over $125,000
of books,
of wooden books. that comes from scrap.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're selling what you sell the art of the book that you
do. The book is 200. No, the wood that it comes from is 200 years old. So there's a fresh spirit coming from the wood.
You see, that's what you're selling.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
Sell the story.
And sometimes it looks medieval.
Yes, but for sure. Yes. Many times it looks like that, like an old Bible or something. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
I
I make big Bible. I make them this big. I figured out.
I see.
And I make full size. You know. I got the big one. I just made.
And that's your love for old books that brought you the idea for that.
Old books and the fact that the wood comes from old houses and barns.
Yes.
So that's all connected.
So, because you've always been my teacher, once I speak with somebody, like say an old picker, like you say Germain Langlois or Denis Landry, or how should what should I ask to them so it's pleasing to
listen to it? Yeah, and holds the audience attention.
Yes. What would...
Two things.
Say to have a very deep, deep emotion that you manifest.
It's not a deep thought, but it's a deep emotion. Okay, let's take you. Okay, and I'm you individually. I would ask you. I have two questions for you, Sir Prince. What is the best thing you ever bought that fed your soul? And what is the worst day in the world, the day of picking? So one extreme to the other. And that encompasses your journey. You know?
Oh.
And it's like, man, I can't wait to see what his worst day was. You know? And that curiosity gets him.
Yes. Yes.
And then when you tell it, there's a lesson. The worst day is not the day of every day to come. It's what you make it.
Right.
And that's what you're known for.
Oh, yes.
Your nose is always
sure.
to the grindstone.
Yes.
You know?
For sure. It's the same for you. What was your worst day?
Too big of a question. Too big of a question.
We have a couple hours to speak.
Oh, geez. Well, let's see. The worst day, I was at a real good auction, and I fell asleep.
Oh! Hey, celle-là est bonne, Martin. Il dit, c'est quoi ton plus mauvais jour que tu as eu? Il a dit, j'étais à un enquête super bonne, spéciale au bout, puis j'ai tombé endormi. And the best is when you wake up and your hand is up and you say, okay, I win.
Oh, yeah, no.
Your best day is over here today when you decide to buy that.
Yeah. Well, no, there's another story with that. But the best day is understanding all the passions in the world, and ours is exclusive.
Yes, for sure.
We're one family. We're one
community or whatever.
And 40 years ago, how come you come over here?
There's a guy.
Another story.
The guy I was working for, he was buying from Manchester, New Hampshire, and he found out about Victo, and he hired somebody that spoke French, and they came up here, and he bought, and then
you were working there? So
no.
Okay.
But yeah, I was packing tractor trailers.
Oh, for him.
To go to California.
Okay.
That's where I learned how to pack.
Oh.
But he knew this much about the industry. But he didn't know this much, and that's what I specialized in.
You mean primitive, and that's what
the
you're
early.
Early.
But I still know enough to buy a Addison Bakelite radio.
Okay, good enough. And who was that guy in California that you come from? Is it Dale Nielsen or something like that? No, not Dale. Okay.
Anyway, so this guy was doing a lot of business with Alan Chevette. And he bounced a bunch of checks.
Okay.
And I was working for him. And he said, John, I need you to go to Canada. Here's the money, the cash in the envelope. And Alan Chevette, I went up and down the road. I could not find Alan Chevette.
Oh.
You know. And then finally I found him. And I said, yeah, I'm here for Mr. Morgan, Larry Morgan. And he owes you this money. And so I started to look around. And I said, wow, I like this stuff, and I buy it and I bring it home. But then another time I came, and Alan did not remember me.
Okay.
And I said, he said, oh, bonjour, monsieur. And I, Mr. Chevette? Yeah. How much is this? How much is this? What's wrong? I want to buy a bunch. He said, well, no parlez anglais. I says, yeah, but if I take this, and this, how much? He says, oh, you take all of that, I'll give you a good price. So one minute he speaks no English, and the next minute, this is a good customer.
I love it.
Yeah. Okay, see this right here?
Yeah.
See that right here?
Yes.
Okay, there's no tongue going in, okay? Now, remember I told you there's no round, no round spot?
Yes.
Here.
I see what you mean.
Under, there it is.
They traded.
They twisted.
Oui, tabarnak.
So that's the original edge right there.
Yes. Oh, yes, sir.
Now you can't come back, I don't think, because you would have to, when you twist that back, when they twist it this way, they cut so it to fit like this. See?
Right.
So if you were to tilt it back, you would have to replace those pieces of wood.
Exact.
Yeah.
Exact.
There it is.
So
it's there.
No, me, I find there's so much detail on that. It's the best piece. It's the best open hutch that we can own. Canadian open hutch.
Is it English, sir?
It's from Ontario. It's from Smithfall. So it's, I would
Irish?
say...
Scottish?
You got me. It's about 75 miles from the border of Quebec City.
Yeah, I was in Smith Falls.
And I would say it was somebody who speaks English. But in Ontario, with the fan, we see some cupboard, not so fancy, but with fan like this, we see that in Ontario, I think, and we see that in New Brunswick. New Brunswick with Nova Scotia, they have that kind of pillar.
So the first settler could have been in New Brunswick and then came further. They're like on Ontario or Toronto, people are going back to the Maritime.
Oh, for sure.
Today. So imagine this all done in first color in the auction in Ontario.
Oh.
What would it fetch? No telling.
Whatever you can imagine. If you have two people who fight to own that, when it's finished, the number you will see is the number you will get, for sure. It's
And imagine this, just suggestive. But here, when the wood is up there, there's so much wood, and instead of nailing it, they nailed it. But imagine like a rosette on top of that board to hold it in place. Because it's there.
When I sell that piece, someday I will sell it. And when I sell, I will cry. Because that's what I like. I mean, it gives me, if that piece gives me so much emotion, there's a reason. I'm not, je suis pas fou.
Yeah.
Allô? Hey, comment ça va, Suzanne? OK, good. C'est un monsieur, un antique dealer du Maine, que ça fait 40 ans qu'il vient ici, puis là, ça fait 15 ans qu'il n'était pas descendu, puis on placote ensemble, puis on échange des affaires.
C'est son prénom, c'est pas John?
John Melby.
Yeah. Je le connais bien. Il me reconnaît pas, il peut pas me reconnaître, mais je l'ai bien connu.
She's in the antique business for at least 40 years.
And you know my husband.
Monique Shea?
Jean Lafrance.
Jean Lafrance.
You
Her
remember
husband.
him?
What about Jean?
I'm Suzanne. He's my husband.
No way.
Yes, and you know me because, but
Yeah,
I'm an old
used to-
lady now.
My beard used to be red, but maybe
How are you, John?
I'm good. I was thinking of you guys. I was talking about you last week.
Oh, oui?
Because I got the snowbird.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
You still have stuff?
Oh, yeah. Right above my stove in my kitchen.
But I have to tell you that Jean passed away.
I figured he was in ill health, up and down.
Yes,
anyway.
always, but he passed away 1 year ago. I'm glad you still have some of his birds.
Yeah. I'll never tell them. Yeah.
Thank you.
So now those birds are...
C'est des oiseaux que Jean a sculptés.
Oh, Colin.
Those birds are 25, 30 years old.
Oh, yes. 30, 35 years. Oui. Wow. Absolument.
So you're good? You're okay?
Yes, I am.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Good. What a surprise.
See?
You have no idea you made my day.
C'est fun, ça. That's fun, ça.
Yeah. Did you hear that?
No, I didn't.
I said you could make $1 billion and you would still pick a dime up off the floor.
For sure. Yes, for sure. Every antique dealer or...
Yeah. So if there's a $10 bill and a $100 bill, which one do you pick up?
Note.
That's Suzanne who does that.
Yeah.
Me, I say, maybe I'm gonna leave the 100 for somebody else.
Oh,
Me, I'll take
you know
the
who
10.
would do that? You know who would do that? You know who did that?
No.
Maud Lewis.
Ah oui?
You know Maud Lewis?
Maud Lois, la celle qui faisait des petits...
Lewis.
Yeah.
I know her.
Yeah,
Yes.
the $350,000. Anyway, she was on the side of her road and she had the sign up, paintings for sale, and a New Yorker come by. And he's just, wow. And he goes to him and says, Madame, he says, I buy all your paintings today. And they were $8 or $9 and $10 a piece. Oh, no, sure. Says, you can have a couple, but leave some because other people want to come by and buy them.
Hey, imagine, hein?
That's how humble she was.
Ouais. Now, this stuff is selling like crazy.
Yeah, but that was an exception. It'll probably never happen again.
No.
Well, Miller's, they're predicting, I'm sure you heard on their forecast, that one day a mod will sell for $1 million.
Wow. Have fun. À plus tard.
I hope to see you one day again. Have you seen his work?
Jean, no, I didn't see. They used to go at the show, do the show all over, and me, I didn't go that much at the show, so I didn't see, but nice.
When I find it on my thing, there's one, the regular birds are okay, but I think he carved and she painted.
Okay.
But there's one called the snowbird.
Okay.
But I'll photograph it and send it to you.
Okay, good enough. Suzanne, John, il me demandait si c'est toi qui peignais les snowbirds. Non? C'est Jean? OK, il savait pas. Il a dit, I don't... Il peignait? OK. OK, good. Salut, Peter. Look, John. Pierre Desrosiers.
Hey, Desrosiers. Bonjour, monsieur. I'm good.
I see you only on Facebook, you know.
Salut, tu penses?
You come often here?
Yeah, every 20 years.
Every 20 years?
Yeah.
Oh, that's...
Ça fait longtemps. How long, John, you come down, you know?
About almost
Not
that.
20. No, not 20 years.
No?
No, my kids, they seen you.
Oh, yeah, it's
I mean,
more than that,
but,
maybe 40 years.
Non, ils comptent une mentir. Je sais pas.
Oh, yeah.
T'es en forme?
So this is what this could look like?
No.
What?
This is 10. This is 2.
No, the surface and the color.
Oh, again.
Because
I'm not talking about the color. I'm talking about the piece.
Yeah, oh no, I understand that.
You owe me $5.
That's before.
Before I saw it, you took a picture and I said,
okay.
oh, you know how to do it. Oh boy. And then now it brings the value, and then you end up selling for 7 or 8, 10,000. And
That no. I'm still
humble on the price.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll leave a turkey sandwich. Sometimes it's only a tuna sandwich.
Oh, imagine. I love it.
So when you're ready, you let me know.
It's time today.
Not the cash, no, not to buy it.
It's to strip it, but imagine.
And I would turn that like that in a heartbeat, no question. Turn that back to that edge.
For sure. It gives more, I mean, it goes with all the rest.
Yeah, look at how it's turned on the edges of the doors.
It
You know?
would come from
Yeah.
this way.
Yeah.
So it match up and everything. So how many hours? Imagine.
Well, how many coats of paint?
And I wonder what would be the best. Tomorrow we do that. What would be the best? Is it to go right to the blue or leave some coat of color of
No.
different age?
You don't know. And you don't do that on purpose, but the cupboard might tell you that's the way it's going to be.
Why?
Because if I attack that door right there,
Uh-huh.
I attack it aggressively
Uh-huh.
with a heat gun and a scraper.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's almost like plowing through it. But I stop and I slow down and I take a whole different approach when I take off the one before the one I want to save.
Yeah.
Because that's where it has to be delicate and not have the gouging in the first.
Why?
Yeah. So there's you don't have to take it off one at a time, and you don't have to be delicate in the very beginning.
No.
You can be aggressive.
Why?
Oh, I know.
Around blue, black, like first
And-
color, and then the gray was maybe 50 years later, but he would keep the story of the cupboard during 150 years.
But that story cannot supersede or be more important than the story of the original maker.
Could not, but could be
Because-
more decorative.
Oh yeah, but this is not for decorative purposes. This
No.
is for history.
Okay. But sometimes you get more money.
It don't
For-
matter. It's
Doesn't
not the
matter.
money.
No.
There's no question.
Well, sometimes if you create a piece of his story, if you create a piece who's fantastic to look, maybe it's as important as if it is only a piece of story for museum. You can no?
No.
No?
You cannot legislate what is going to be by the desires of others.
No?
No. It has to be.
Boy, there's only you who thinks like that. Because you're so knowledgeable and so profound.
Passionate.
And passionate. Yeah. But me, to make a living, maybe it's better to have a piece that is attractive.
Make a living on this and leave this alone, Why include it? Why include it?
You think too much. See why? Oh, boy.
And the knobs, I don't know.
This is a half something.
Sewing
thread.
Thing,
Yes.
Yeah.
So
and to me, it probably had.
But look,
maybe even brass.
What would you strip that inside when it's so nice? Because to bring to the wood, it won't look so nice.
I know.
It's reddish, and the red goes in the board.
Yeah, that's a possibility. But I mean, underneath in the backboard with the original color, with the original maker screaming, "Here I am! I'm finally alive again." Oh, maybe not. They didn't finish the job. They cared, but not enough.
Okay.
Imagine the patina is going to come on those shelves.
Or also.
Of the wood and the paint. Sure, it's nice, but it's not that it's better or not. It's whether it's important or not, more important or not. And it's not when you're dealing with history.
And how often do you have the chance to speak or explain your knowledge like you do now?
Yeah.
Do you have many people who you have chance to every customer who speak to you?
I share that with customers everywhere I go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny that you can be a teacher, but who wants to teach arithmetic?
Who wants to teach what?
Arithmetic.
Arithmetic.
Math.
Oh, yeah.
Numbers.
No.
But they're both teachers. Your teacher here, take your English. Take your English. I don't want. I almost flunked English and did not graduate from high school. They gave me a D- just so I would pass. Okay, but later in life, now I write poetry. I write songs.
Yes.
I write stories.
Yeah.
And my English teacher would probably go, John Melby does that? The guy I gave a D-?
Yeah. Woo. He must be proud of you.
So it's not about the grade. It's about what they implanted in me.
Yes.
And that D- speaks about them, not me.
That's true. Oh.
Yeah.
That's profound.
Yeah, it's my escape.
Oh, yes.
Not my excuse, I used to hold my parents accountable as parents when I was little.
Yes. Oh, you would say to them, it's your fault.
No, it's not. This is not the way to speak. This is not the way to discipline. This, et cetera,
you would say that to them.
Absolutely, yeah. Oh. And I'd say it to my teachers too in school.
Oh, that's why they clear you quick.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, you're saying, that's fun to hear. Oh,
so the biggest teacher in life is life itself.
For sure.
But if you don't have journeys like you and I have, that's where you go to the classrooms.
Exactly.
If you're always there, you never leave that classroom. You might be lucky to have an old man that wants to share some stories with you, and that's where you learn. But man, look at the lessons that we learn every day.
And we need a mentor, or we need people who think different than us, and then it helps us to grow. I mean.
Yeah.
Okay, now go ahead.
I have a corner cupboard overpainted. It was maybe 1820, and it was diminutive and naive. It was shaped shelves on the inside, and I scraped it. And I was almost done with it. But the last color before the original color to take that off would have damaged the primary color I was after. And I realized that. So I stopped. And I went home. And the next day, the wife, Debbie, she came with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I says, I only have one color left, but I'm having a problem. And she came in and she goes, oh my God. She says, don't touch that. She says, I love it, love it, love it, love it. And it was like, see the green trees?
Yes.
So on a foggy day, you can still see the green trees, but that fog was over the green trees, and that's what the cupboard did. And she, from that point forward, she called that her ghost cupboard.
Oh,
yeah. And we took it to Nova Scotia to keep, and down at the farm I had, and the property was broken into.
Oh,
the cupboard, I got like $7,000 or $8,000 for it, but they broke into the house in Cape Negro, and they took a bunch of stuff.
Oh, they did?
And didn't touch a cupboard.
Oh, but they took some stuff.
Oh, yeah, cassettes and radios and da-da-da-da-da. I had a $1,000 painting on the wall and a $7,000, $8,000 cupboard.
They didn't care about that.
They don't. No. Well, it's not. They didn't know.
No.
They had the slightest inkling they would have been gone. So anyway,
keep going.
Yeah. So we brought it back, and I took it to the New Hampshire Antique Dealers Show, which I was a part of for 10 years, and that was my merit badge.
Oh.
But somebody, a collector from Ontario, came by, and he says, "Oh my gosh," he says, "I have to have that cupboard. Will you deliver it to Ontario?" And he says, "Tell me the story of the cupboard." And I told him everything I just told you. And he says, "I will keep that story with that cupboard as long as I own it in Ontario. And when I sell it, and if it goes to auction, your name will be attached to it for preserving it down to the maker's first color or the story of it." So it's in Ontario.
Cool. Well, that's the way to make money.